Okay, this video is part 2 of water landscape art. First painting here is by Thomas Cole. Thomas Cole is a great painter of the mid-1800s, Hudson River Valley School, and he's probably the best story painter who ever lived. This painting is called The Bestial Savage Phase of Mankind by Thomas Cole. And you see them kind of caveman looking guys running around. He does look like he's got a bow and arrow. They got other things here that look like teepees. Oh, he's chasing some deer that he's hunting. There's other ones running around over there. So that's that early phase of mankind, the savage hunter. Okay, now here is the Arcadia pastoral scene. So this is now the time of the ancient Greeks. And it's sort of a bit of a idealized utopian form. They got the early Greek architecture, the beautiful, Mediterranean Sea, Aegean Sea, the toga-like outfits, and they get along peacefully, pastoral, farming, livestock, sheep, and it's rather beautiful. All through history, anybody Western that has an education has greatly admired the ancient Greeks. It's actually a sign. They actually would say, if you don't know the ancient Greeks, you're not educated, because they're such an important foundational thing to understanding Western civilization, and they're so magnificent. Okay, now here is the homestead or family farm. Again, these paintings are all by Thomas Cole, and they're showing a progression of mankind towards modern civilization. So, he's come home, he's caught some fish to feed the family, and this is just how society was. Dad's out trying to do some work, bring home some fish, something for the family to eat, and mama's taking care of the babies. Before birth control, mama would have 10 or more kids, and she's busy nursing and taking care of them, and there's always some kid around that needs some attending to. Okay, until she's postmenopausal, then her kids are having kids. And so here's the same sort of scene. Homecoming by Edward Moran from 1870. Papa has been out fishing all day. Hopefully he's got some fish to feed the family. If he doesn't, they're going to be hungry tonight. So hopefully he's got it. Mama's taking care of the baby, and then the older siblings are helping out. And that's life. That's how life has always been. And that's the natural relationship of men and women, is to be a partnership in supporting a family, raising a family, and helping the kids. And if this young little baby is a boy, by the time he hits puberty, he'll go off with dad and go fishing or whatever else to bring home some food for the family. Okay, mankind continued to get a little more sophisticated in his building of boats. This is called The Jetty at Fet Moss by Hans Good, and again, it's rather beautiful. Like, to create this painting, what a masterpiece it is. It's like 100,000 little decisions have to go into each brushstroke to make this the masterpiece that it is. And that's how great this art is that what I'm showing you are masterpieces. But for every masterpiece, there's a whole bunch of good ones. Okay, this is Lake Lucerne by Joseph Jansen, 1900. Again, it's just sort of this aesthetically beautiful. And I had gone to Canada many years ago, gosh, about 35 years ago when I was a young guy, and saw Banff, these beautiful turquoise lakes, fresh water with the mountains and the evergreen trees on the hill, and it's just spectacular. And here's a more sort of family scene called Fishing by Manuel Garcia y Rodriguez. And, the kids are fishing, the ladies are kind of watching. It's just nice. There's a way that a painting's more than a photograph. A painting captures the whole gestalt, the mood, the time, the sense, the feeling, the history. Okay, here's Hunters in the Snow, a beautiful painting by Peter Bruegel the Elder. He's coming back, and the people have the ice, they're skating, and there's a sense of tranquility, community. And here it is, Frozen River at Sunset by Ert van der Neer. And again, you got the nice family, you got the church in the background. Nice community. It's a very Christian thing to celebrate all this. Here's The Sower by Vincent van Gogh. As man became more agricultural, he could grow more food in one place, support bigger populations all being together. The Harvesters by Peter Bruegel, and so they're taking their little lunchtime break here. A rather elegant scenes from 1565, the painting. And here's a painting I like. It's an Irish painting. You don't see too many Irish paintings. The Irish are too poor to paint most of the time. But this is called Thunderstorm and the Frightened Wagoner. And it looks like the horse is more frightened. He's scared to cross the bridge with the thunder. There's something kind of beautiful about this painting. Here's the Rustic Mill Farm by Albert Bierstadt, the great landscape painter. And you see the water wheel in the back, you see the family, you see the lady washing the clothes in the water there, see the guy ready to take the horses out to plow the fields. It's just making it work. The family. Family is a unit of society. It's always been. Okay, Under the Forest Trees by Edward Moran, just a beautiful canopy. It's like a cathedral, like the stained glass windows of a cathedral. And that's kind of like what that high ceiling is of a cathedral. It's like the tree canopy of a forest, looking up to the sky, to God, and it's magnificent. The colors of autumn, painted scene by God. And here's the Haywain, more life down home on the farm, getting the work done, making some food. The Haywain by John Constable. Okay, here's a nice one of a young lady. She's taking the horse to the water. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink, by Heywood Hardy. Here is the Ford Waterway by Carl Paul Femi Stokes von Eckenbrecher. And it's just elegant again, the mountains and the river together, the valley, it's all nice. It makes us happy. And it's very common, somebody's super rich, multimillionaire, billionaire or something. They build a house on a hill next to a lake or a river. Okay, that's just, we like that. We program, we get biophilia. We love nature in that way. And there's a sense of security too, that water is nearby and food is nearby. All right, here is Sunday Afternoon on the Island of La Grande Jatte by Georges Seurat. A beautiful sort of Impressionism type French painting, punctillism. And it's just beautiful. Humans happy, getting along, being nice to each other. It's nice. And now here is a painting that's magnificent, but it's very sad. This is the painting of Ophelia. And the painter is John Everett Millais. He's a leader, really, in the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood school of painters from the mid-1800s, the Victorian Renaissance in England. And they had wanted to go and paint in a style like before Raphaelite, a more noble style, a more God-fearing style, more true to nature style, and a more religious style. And this painting of Ophelia, it was rather spectacular, okay? And it's obviously very sad from the play Hamlet by Shakespeare. But the painting is just magnificent. I know the story behind the painting. The model was a lovely actress who was actually laying down in the bathtub, okay? And the water was cold. They had Bunsen burners beneath it, but they went out, and she caught a cold, and he had to pay her extra because of that. Okay, here's Lifeline by Winslow Homer, 1884. And once again, the woman is this damsel in distress, beautiful creature, and the guy is this faceless workaholic. And that kind of tells you how it goes. All the emotion and feeling is for this poor woman, and then the guy who's busting his ass, risking his life, you don't even get to see his face. That's what it's like to be a man. We live for these women. We love them. We appreciate them, and they kind of take us for granted. Here is The Undertow again by Winslow Homer. The strong man has saved the weak woman. From the undertow is when the current pulls them out to sea and is going to drown the person. And this is, I once saved a young lady's life from this. Okay, this is, men got a lot more upper body muscular strength. There's no comparison. Only on the internet do you see a bunch of buff women. In real life, they're all a bunch of, the vast majority, almost all, they're all weak upper body. And so, yes, it's our job to save their lives. We love them more than they love us. If only they loved us more, life would be better. But really the way it works is we should be like living in more connected communities. Like here's a painting, Sunday in a Russian Village by Nikolai Dmitriev Orenbursky, because this is a natural way to live. The extended families are all together and they help each other, okay? The kids just run around playing. The youth, once they get to around, 18 years of age, they're dancing together, ready for romance, start making babies. This is the after pregnancy mama nursing out in public. And then the old folks, they become kind of like kids again. They just play. They don't have the responsibility of the little kids as much. They help out, they advise, they got life experience. You know, kids from childhood are around all the different age groups. Not like the modern schools where they keep everybody of the same age together, where they're all equally ignorant and can't help each other. In this environment, the kid has a question, he can go ask any of the adult men. He can really learn something fast. And this is kind of how life is, I think, meant to be. Extended communities where everybody sort of knows each other and helps each other. The modern city where you don't know anybody is kind of an anomaly. It's this new thing. We weren't really biologically designed for it. Anyways, I thought this was elegant, and it also once again shows that Russia used to have a lot of talented, intelligent people who could make magnificent, beautiful art. Once they went commie, atheist, they produce nothing. Atheism destroys whatever it touches. But anyways, this is a beautiful painting. I hope you enjoyed this part 2 of water landscape art. I'll have one more part coming up soon.